So firstly, I'd like to thank you all for your time today. It's with great pleasure that we welcome the newest members of Woodley's community. My name is Matt Darvell. I'm a development manager at Woodley. I'm here with one of my counterparts, Fatma, who I'm sure a large majority of you all know, who's one of our sales consultants. Today we'll be providing you with an update on the progress of stage 41 and providing you with a guide to settling and building at Woodley. So firstly, and it's generally the first question that's raised at these webinars, it's generally relating to the construction progress of stage 41. So at present, we've progressed quite well within stage 41. There hasn't been too much impact from weather and there has been no impact from COVID and the like. I guess the process moving forward from here until titles basically involves the installation of concreting, asphalt, of water connections. Then basically we progress from there through to topsoiling. And then after that, there's some electrical audits and detailed authority approvals. But through the presentation, we'll provide a bit more context to that effect. Currently, we're forecasting that titles will be issued in November, but naturally they're subject to authority approval. So we'll keep you updated over the coming weeks and provide a more firm time frame. But that's our current guidance. Within the next week or so, we'll be engaging with you and your legal representatives to provide value access to your lots. And we anticipate at the moment that value access will likely occur within the next 2 weeks. So basically, as a part of your settlement process, the value will come and inspect the site and coordinate accordingly with your bank. There are a number of housekeeping items that I'd like to go through today prior to starting the presentation. Firstly, I'm sure you'll have a number of questions today. I'd kindly ask, if you do have questions, to click on the question and answer button at the bottom of your screen. Type in the question that you may have, and at the end of today's presentation, we'll go through each of the questions one by one and provide an answer. I'd ask if you could please keep the questions generally broad in nature. If there are any specific questions about your settlement, I would encourage you to engage with this customer service team. So there are obviously a number of agenda items which we will be going through today. So we'll be providing a general construction update. We'll be explaining what's been happening behind the scenes over the last year or so within stage 41. And then I'll be handing over to Fatma, and she'll be explaining what your legal representative's responsibilities are throughout the settlement process, what your specific responsibilities are. We'll be providing a general overview about the design guidelines and the process that you need to go through in building your home. We'll be explaining some complimentary gifts, which we'll be providing to all the purchasers. We'll be also going through some helpful information, explaining generally the community events that we would normally hold at Woodley, providing there weren't currently stage 4 restrictions in place. There are a number of COVID-19 FAQs which we'll be identifying. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll also be covering off various questions at the end of the presentation. So Woodley has a very strong history of delivering, with construction commencing in 2015. Over the last 5 years, in excess of around 2,500 lots have been delivered across the precinct and introducing in the order of about 6,000 community members. We have a presentation, we have a construction presentation which we'll run through in a moment now, just to provide a bit of an update on how we've been progressing with construction. As I mentioned earlier, Woodley has a strong history of delivering, with construction commencing in 2015. Over the last 5 years, a number of key infrastructure items have been delivered in the community, whether it be cafes, learning hubs, pharmacies and medical centres, or primary schools and local town centres. Woodlea has had a strong history of delivering over that time, and we will continue to in the future with the delivery of numerous primary schools, high schools, indoor sports centres and community facilities, which Woodlea will be facilitating in conjunction with council. This master plan provides a good indication of the location of numerous key pieces of infrastructure, with the local town centre located in this area here. Taylors Road Bridge naturally located in this area here, stages 41 through 50 in this region, and the local and sales office located generally in this area here. This slide provides a key example of the numerous infrastructure and community facilities which have been delivered over the past 5 years. As I mentioned earlier, the primary school, doctors' facilities and pharmacy, numerous adventure parks, active open spaces, the Aintree Cafe and Garden, which seems to be a real hit with purchases, and along with the Woodlea Town Centre. So in the past year, there's been a lot of bits and pieces been working behind the scenes to enable settlement of lots within your stage. So firstly, our surveyor lodges a plan of sub to council for approval, and then subsequently council requests authorities to provide consent to that approval process. Statement of compliance is then generally obtained from council, which generally reflects the completion of construction works. The plan of sub is lodged with the titles office, and with a notification that the land has been registered. And then at that time, we will be providing to you via our conveyancer the notification that you are generally due to settle your lot within 14 days. Settlement is then booked with your legal representative, whether it be a conveyancer or similar, and then statements of adjustment are prepared, which reflect adjustments to land tax rates and the like. And then you'll need to draw your cheque or arrange your finances for settlement. And then settlement will generally occur between Woodlea, your bank, which is facilitated by your legal representative. Now I'll be handing over to Fatma to explain to you what your legal representative's responsibilities are.
Thank you, Matt. So it's very important that you understand what your legal representative's responsibilities are, otherwise known as your conveyancer as well. So they'll work together with your bank to get all the necessary paperwork and documents ready for settlement. And along with that would come the title details as well. With the bank, they ensure your funds are in place, ready for settlement. And they'll be in contact with your bank or broker at least 24 hours prior to settlement. They'll also review the statement of adjustments. Now this is required, that there would be adjustments made with council rates and other utility bills as well. And they also help determine what fees you need to pay as well at settlement, including stamp duty and transfer fees as well. All right, so moving on to what your responsibilities are. It's very important that you understand that it's your responsibility to settle on time. You will need to work with your bank and your conveyancer to ensure that you have everything in order, ready to meet your settlement date. Funds do need to be ready at least 24 hours prior to settlement. You also need to ensure your block is maintained. So this is ensuring that it's free from any rubbish or debris, and also ensuring that your lock pegs are in place as well. We will notify you when you've got access to the site to be able to carry out these tasks. But if there are any issues along the way, please don't hesitate to let us know. It's important that you do advise us of these issues prior to settlement. So the design guidelines, this is definitely an exciting time to start the process of building, and we're here to help you through that process. We want to try and make sure that you're going to build a home that you would love to live in forever. And the guidelines are in place to ensure that your investment is protected to a high building standard, and it also provides you with the peace of mind. The aim is to create a coherent vision for Woodlea. It encourages a range of styles that are transparent to the streetscape within the estate. The guidelines can also be downloaded from our website. However, we will also send you a copy of these after this presentation. Now, how to submit your plan. So I've just got a quick video here for you, but more information can also be found on our website within the Home Design Hub.
So, you've purchased a block at Woodley. Firstly, congratulations. Now here's your guide for submitting your house plans to our Woodley Home Design team, so you can start building your dream home at Woodley. First off, tell us who you're building with. Once you've chosen your builder and signed contracts, be sure to let our team know. How do you let us know? Well, at Woodley, we like to keep in touch. Once you settle on your lot, we will send you an email with an online form to submit your builder details to our team. Remember, your builder is responsible for submitting your plans. That's why we need to get this information. What if you haven't received any emails? Not to worry. Sometimes we might not have your most up-to-date contact details on file. You can simply visit our website and fill out your builder details under the I am a purchaser heading, just like this. Or if you want, give our friendly team a call to let us know who you're building with and update your best contact details at the same time. So what's next? Once you've confirmed with our team who you're building with, your builder will be emailed a unique online form from our team to submit your house plans. We'll also send your builder reminders to submit your plans so your home gets approved as quickly as possible. Once your house plans are submitted by your builder, our team of home design experts will review your new home plans within 10 working days. You and your builder will be notified by email and SMS once your plan has been reviewed. Any other questions? You can visit woodley.com.au/house-design-hub for further information and to get in touch.
So just moving on to the process of building your new home. So for anyone that's eager to start building straight away and you haven't actually gone through the building process as such, I'd strongly encourage that you get that going straight away because it's quite a lengthy process. As you can see on your screen there, the process of paying a deposit to your builder and then moving across to your colour selection and upgrades appointment can take on average 2 to 8 weeks. From here, you'll then move across to a new home tender. So this on average can also take 2 to 4 weeks. And then before you're signing a building contract, an additional 2 weeks. So that process in itself, you would need to allow anywhere between 90 to 120 days. Once your building contract has been signed, building permits and approvals are required, and then you'll be able to commence with your progress payments during construction. Just in regards to this process as well, you don't actually need to settle on your land before your plans are submitted to Woodley. You're more than welcome to submit them in advance, which means you settle and you can start construction straight away rather than waiting for an approval. So just moving on to some common mistakes made when designing and building, we just wanted to flag a few of these things just to ensure that it's a smooth process moving forward as well during your construction. So hard landscaping such as your driveway, letterbox and fencing are the most common items that people do get wrong. It's very important that you just have a look at your approved plan, or you can also refer back to our design guidelines as well, and we can assist you through that process. Driveways need to be poured, fencing installed in accordance to those plans as well. Now, if your builder is not providing you with these particular aspects of your build, it's important that you do hand over your approved plan to your contractor that you've nominated as well. Just be mindful synthetic turf and roller shutters are not permitted where visible. If you do wish to have these, please ensure that you nominate them on your plan and submit them through to the design review panel for assessment. And once again, with your letterbox, making sure you're going back to the approved plan or having a look at our guidelines for the different letterboxes that would be approved as well. If you're not sure and you can't see it in our guidelines, feel free to just shoot that through to us and we can let you know. Now, our gift to you, some exciting things are on offer. One would be the community infrastructure levy. So it's a $900 payment to council. It is paid by us on your behalf, just to kickstart your building process. Council will then use these funds to feed back into the community for different facilities. And the other thing that you'll actually receive from us is a front landscaping package. Valued up to $10,000. There's 3 different designs that you can select from, and 2 different colour schemes as well that you can also choose from to help complement your home. Now, there are different government grants as well. So one would be the First Home Owners Grant. You would need to lodge the application through the State Revenue Office. You can speak to your conveyancer or legal representative to assist you through this process. And there's also the $25,000 government grant at the moment as well. So you can also speak to your broker in reference to that to guide you through that process. We're also here to help as well, and we do understand that it can be a difficult time with finances, especially with the current circumstances, but there is what's known as the Mortgage Wellbeing Service. So building your home is obviously one of the biggest investments that can occur in your life. We do understand that having a mortgage can be very stressful, so should you have any questions or need any advice, feel free to contact the Djerriwarrh Health Services. They're a financial counsellor for the Mortgage Wellbeing Services, and then they'll be able to contact you as well. So they're always available should you have any questions at all. Should you wish to contact them directly, please contact our customer team or our sales team, and we can definitely assist you through this process. So yeah, you can see on your screen as well that there's some different events that have been carried out. So everything that you can see on your screen have actually been part of Woodlea, which is, yeah, great to see. Things that you don't see on the screen are things like table tennis, play group, and pizza nights as well. They're quite popular. So Aintree Cafe and Garden, they're a non-for-profit organisation, and all profits actually do feed back into the Woodlea community. They're currently operating just next door to our office, the Woodlea Hub, open Monday to Saturday, 8 AM till 3 PM. They do offer a number of different meals and free delivery to our residents here at Woodlea. So yeah, if you are a resident at the moment, feel free to drop in. So moving on to some COVID-19 FAQs, there's definitely been some questions raised about settlement and the effects of COVID over the last few months. So I just want to cover these off for you as well. So the first one is, will COVID-19 impact my settlement date? So the safety and well-being of our customers, residents, service providers and employees are and will always be our highest priority. Following on from that, what if I can't settle due to unforeseen circumstances? We do understand it is a difficult time, and Woodlea will work with you over the coming weeks and months to work towards settling your property. Please note that you will need to make any request for an extension through your solicitor as well. What if I'm delayed in building on my block? We understand this is a possibility. What we would strongly encourage is that you approach your legal representative, your conveyancer. They will put something together for Maddocks Lawyers, they're our representative, outlining why you need this extension. It will be reviewed by the vendors, and it's up to their discretion if they provide approval or not in that aspect. So that really covers off, I guess, the FAQs around COVID-19. Now we're just moving on to questions that everyone's raised. I'm going to pass you on to back on to Matt.
Fantastic. So I hope we still have everyone there. As Fatma identified, we're moving on to our question time at the moment, and there's been quite a few really well written questions, which is fantastic. So the first question here, which is written by Mike, is in relation to the current restrictions and particularly the commencement of construction within 1 year of settlement. I think as Fatma identified through the presentation, Woodlea are prepared to provide some leniency in very specific circumstances. So if there is, if you are dealing with genuine financial hardship and the like, we encourage you to engage with your financial with your legal representative, and then they will contact our lawyers and discuss the appropriate way forward. But I just would like to highlight that there needs to be very clear, financial hardship felt. It's not a restriction that we take lightly, and obviously needs to be implemented accordingly. There's a question which has come here through from Melody, which is quite specific in nature, but I think the issue of bail needs to be addressed holistically. So the process the process that we essentially go through in removing bail is that the Department of Environment, Land, Water and Planning deal with this process exclusively. It's not really a process that Woodlea have direct control on. So we attempt to lobby the Department of Environment, Land, Water and Planning to remove that restriction, but it really is a situation that is dealt at their end, and we're not really in a position of control in that space. There's been another query which has come through from Sammy in relation to whether there's additional community safety programs and the like that are implemented within the community. And I think Hannah, who's one of our marketing managers, has taken care of this query in suggesting there is an A-Tree neighbourhood watch group, which we are naturally in the process of starting up. And in addition to that, there are numerous security patrols which we coordinate across the community. The next question has just come through from Tony here. If you could please advise at this stage, the settlement will be likely to happen early November or towards the end of November. Again, it's a very difficult one for us to quantify at this stage. I guess where the titles are really contingent on authority approvals, which again it's one of those situations which we're not 100% in control of. So my gut feel at the moment would be that we're probably looking towards the middle of November. But again, there's quite a few bits and pieces that need to play out, which we're not entirely in control of. But rest assured, we're trying our utmost to facilitate a timely title time frame. Next question has come through from Melody here. I think it's probably more of a comment in relation to the DRP process. And I'd just like to highlight to anyone, if you are having any issues with the DRP process, to engage with our customer service team and seek resolution of those issues. Because I guess from Woodlea's perspective, we'd like to be very consistent and clear in our message. So again, I'd just like to encourage you to engage with our customer service team if there are any concerns. Semi has sent through another query regarding valuation access. Can the banks be able to start the valuation, and can we get pre-approval unconditional in advance? Yes, certainly. As at the start of the presentation, I think I mentioned that within the next week or so, we'll be engaging with your legal representatives and sending out an email just providing guidance on site access for valuations. So we'll be providing a number of time slots for valuers to access, which I think will probably occur within the next probably 2 weeks or so. So if you don't receive that email, or your legal representative doesn't receive that email, I'd strongly encourage you to engage with our customer service team, and we will provide you with an appropriate time slot or the ability to facilitate that process. So unless there are, I'm just wondering whether there are any other questions which are about to come through. If there are not any, one has just come through now. After checking the DOLP site, it seems stage 41 is not under bushfire zone. Can Woodlea confirm the residents of stage 41? So I'm a little bit confused about what we're asking for there. But I guess DELPA are responsible for providing guidance on whether your lot is subject to a particular BAL rating. So I would strongly encourage that you engage with DELP and receive that guidance. In addition, it might be worth also engaging through your builder to receive some guidance in that space. Naturally, they'll normally converse with the building surveyor who's well placed to answer that query. There's been another query come through from Sammy in relation to obtaining neighbours' details for fence sharing. So there's obviously strong privacy arrangements that we are bound by, and we don't actively send out your neighbours' details to you, and conversely, we wouldn't send your details out to your neighbour. So I would encourage you, Sammy, to engage with council and request the address and whatnot of your neighbour, and council would generally facilitate that process for you. Just had a question come through from Darren. When do we receive access in the next week, or can we arrange soil tests prior to settlement? We will, generally speaking, we won't allow soil tests prior to settlement, but we will be engaging with you and your legal representatives regarding access for valuers and the like. So just bear with us. We're obviously continuing to work through that settlement process, and we'll let you know when access will be enabled. So I think that's it question-wise. So we might wrap up the presentation then. Again, Fatma and I would like to thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate your time in joining this meeting. If you have any additional queries, by all means, and I think I've mentioned this a few times, feel free to engage with our customer service team, who will be able to divert you in the right direction and enable you to kind of progress through your settlement process. So again, thanks guys. We'll be ending the meeting now, and I hope you have a lovely day, and welcome to Woodlea.